Hi, I'm Michael Church with Crawl Space Ninja. If you've ever had wet or sagging insulation hanging from your crawl space floor, first of all, that's not good. Today I'm going to walk you through exactly why it happens, why it's a problem, and the correct steps to remove it and to dry the crawl space before you even think about addressing that mold problem that is likely down there. So the problem is wet insulation in the crawl space is something we see all the time. Whether it's fiberglass bats falling down or spray foam trapping moisture, once that insulation gets wet, it can no longer do its job. Worse, it becomes a food source for mold and a sponge for moisture, holding dampness against the wood subfloor. That leads to higher humidity, bad odors, and even hardwood floor damage inside your home. In order to determine if you have wet insulation in your crawl space, you're going to have to get down there and do an inspection or send someone down there like Crawl Space Ninja to do that for you. The very first step is the inspection. Before pulling anything down, we check for the source of moisture. Is it the groundwater seepage, high humidity, plumbing leaks, or poor ventilation? If you just rip out the insulation without fixing the moisture problem, it will come right back. Next, we carefully remove all the wet insulation. Fiberglass especially tends to sag and fall, and it can hold onto mold spores. So we wear proper protective gear during removal. Getting all of it out allows the subfloor to start breathing again and stops the sponge effect where the water is trapped against the wood. This can be difficult with spray foam insulation. Many times, if the homeowner or contractor decides to spray foam the entire subfloor of the crawl space, it can be extremely difficult to remove that spray foam. So please check out the video that I did, Is Spray Foam a Good Idea? Now we're going to look at drying the crawl space. After removal, we move into the drying phase. This is critical. Drying can be done with professional grade dehumidifiers like the Ninja Dry Pro 70. And of course, if you need a little bit of air movement, that can be done only when there's no mold present. We don't recommend using a lot of air movers in a crawl space or any space actually when there's mold present because it can stir up the mold and spread it throughout different parts of the home. We want to reduce the relative humidity below 60%. I prefer 50%, and bring the moisture content of the wood framing down to safe levels. Usually, this is around 15% or under. Depending on how the crawl space is, this can take several days, several weeks, or even several months. And one quick tip, don't forget to leave the vapor barrier down during the drying process, and if you don't have plastic on the ground, you may want to install some temporary plastic to assist in the drying process. Now you're going to want to address the mold, but don't address the mold before drying the crawl space. A lot of people make the mistake of trying to treat mold before they've dried the crawl space. That doesn't work. Mold remediation products won't be effective on damp wood. Just read the label for yourself. Dry the crawl space first, then we can use either soda blasting or an antimicrobial treatment like the YCS cleaner or the Anabec solution to remove and neutralize mold growth. Now keep in mind the term remove, whenever I say that, I'm referring to soda blasting or HEPA vacuuming or scrubbing the mold off. I want to visibly remove the mold from the wood, the subfloor, the joist in order to address the mold properly. Now we're going to look at preventing the problem from coming back. Finally, we want to make sure this doesn't happen again. Once the crawl space is dry and mold-free, the long-term solution is encapsulation with proper vapor barrier, sealing the vents, and installing a high-quality dehumidifier. And don't forget to insulate the crawl space properly, and you may want to invest in the Anabec X70, which actually prevents mold from returning using a silver nanotechnology. This keeps the crawl space dry and protects your home structure, and indoor air quality. Well, I hope you liked this information. And again, please leave a like down below, subscribe to our channel so that we can hit that 100,000 subscriber mark. It's a big deal for us to do that here at Crawl Space Ninja.